The crowd was loud, very loud. Thousands of aliens filled the giant arena on Valdris Prime. They came from all over the galaxy to watch the trials of Dominion. This was the biggest fighting event in space. Every alien race sent their best warrior to fight the combat beasts. The winner species got power, money, and respect. Kong Daeho sat in the waiting room. He was quiet. Around him, other champions talked big and showed off their weapons. The Vorthok warrior, a giant lizard man with green scales, laughed at him. Look. At the human, the Vorthok said to his friends, "He looks like he fixes machines, not fights monsters." The other aliens laughed too. The Nexari champion, who looked like a big bug with 4 arms, clicked his teeth. Humans are weak. They sent us an engineer. This will be over fast. Daeho did not look at them. He watched a screen showing old fights. Beast after beast tearing apart warriors, blood on the sand, screaming crowds. His hands did not shake, but his heart beat fast. Ambassador Lee Sojin walked into the room. She was dressed in her best Earth uniform, but she looked worried. Very worried. "Daeho," she said quietly, "we can still pull you out. Say you were sick. Say anything." Daeho looked up at her. "No, I said I would do this." "Why?" "You are not a fighter. You build things. You fix things. You are good at that. Someone has to do it." Sojin sat next to him. The last 3 human champions died. The beasts killed them in less than 5 minutes each time. "I know. Then why?" Daeho was quiet for a long time. Then he spoke. "Because I watched the videos. All of them. Every human who died here. They tried to fight the beasts like soldiers. It's like the beasts were enemies in a war. That is what everyone does. Yes, and that is why they die." Before Sojin could ask more, a loud voice filled the room. It came from the arena master, a huge alien called a Kronthian. He was 12 feet tall, with 4 arms and skin like rock. "Fighters, time for the first round." The champions stood up. They grabbed their weapons. Plasma guns, energy swords, force shields. The Vorthok had claws longer than knives. The Nexari had poison stingers. A furry alien from the ice world had a hammer that could break walls. Daeho picked up a small bag. That was all. The other champions looked at him and laughed harder. "Where are your weapons, human?" asked the ice alien. "I do not need them. You will die in seconds. Maybe." They walked through a long tunnel. The sound of the crowd got louder and louder. Ho could hear them chanting names, not his name. No one knew him. No one expected him to live. Captain Park Taman was waiting by the tunnel exit. He was Daeho's old commander from the Earth military. His face was serious. "Daeho, last chance. Walk away." "No, sir. This is not like Kepler Station. These are not human enemies. These are monsters made to kill. I know what they are." Taman grabbed his arm. "Then you know you will die." Daeho looked at his old captain. Do you remember what I told you after Kepler Station? It survived when everyone said we would not. You said you won because you did not fight the enemy. You understood them." "Yes, sir." "That is what I will do here. These are not people, Daeho. They are beasts. We will see." The arena master's voice boomed again. First fight. Vorthok champion versus the Iron Spick. The lizard warrior walked out. The crowd cheered. Daeho watched on a small screen as the Vorthok faced a creature that looked like a giant metal porcupine. The beast was fast. It's very fast. It shot metal spikes. From its back, the Vorthok dodged and slashed with his claws. Blood flew. The beast screamed. After 10 minutes of fighting, the Vorthok won. The crowd went wild. Next, Nexari champion versus the Acid Maw. The Bugalian went out. His fight was shorter. The Acid Maw looked like a huge snake with too many teeth, spit acid that melted rocks. But the Nexar was faster. He stung the beast with poison. It died twitching on the sand. More fights. More dead beasts. More cheering crowds. Then the arena master pointed at Daeho. Last fight of the first round. Human champion versus the Shadow Maw. The crowd went quiet. Then they started laughing. Not cheering, laughing. Sojin grabbed Daeho's arm. "The Shadow Maw has killed 17 champions this year. 17. No one has ever survived it. What does it do? Dr. Choi Moran, Earth's beast expert, ran up to them. She had papers in her hands. Her face was white with fear. It is smart, she said. Smarter than the other beasts. It plays with its food. It likes to hunt. It can turn invisible in shadows. Its claws can cut through steel armor like paper. Big is it? 12 feet long? 6 feet tall? Fast like a cat, but strong like a bear? Daeho nodded. Thank you. That is all you have to say? Thank you. What else should I say? Arena Master called again. Human, come now or lose by default. Daeho walked toward the tunnel exit. Behind him, Sojin shouted, Wait, please. We can call Earth. Send ships. Start a war if we have to. You do not have to do this. Daeho stopped. He turned around. For the first time, he smiled a little. Sojin, if I wanted to start a war, I would have stayed in the military. I am here to end something, not start it. End what? I will know when I see the beast. He walked into the bright light of the arena. The crowd was huge, bigger than any sports stadium on Earth. Aliens of every kind filled the seats. They were all waiting to watch him die. The sand under his feet was hot. Bloodstains from the earlier fights made dark patches everywhere. In the center of the arena was a big metal door. Behind that door was the Shadow Maw. Daeho walked to the middle and sat down. He crossed his legs and put a small bag next to him. The crowd got quiet. This was not normal. Champions did not sit down. The arena master looked confused. He spoke into his microphone. Human, are you ready? Daeho looked up at the giant Kranthian and nodded. Release the Shadow Maw. The metal door opened with a loud crash. Darkness poured out like smoke. The crowd held their breath. From the darkness, 2 yellow eyes appeared, and more darkness moved, and the Shadow Maw stepped into the light. It was bigger than Moran had said. It's much bigger, and it was looking right at Daeho with eyes that seemed almost ... human. The Shadow Maw stared at Daeho. Its yellow eyes were bright in the dark. The beast was huge. Black fur covered its body. Long claws scraped the sand. Its mouth had teeth like knives. But Daeho did not move. He sat very still and looked back at the beast. The crowd was silent. They waited for blood. They waited for screaming. But nothing happened. The Shadow Maw took 1 step forward. Then it stopped. Its head moved to the side, like a confused dog. Daeho opened his small bag. He took out a small device that looked like a radio. He pressed a button. Soft music came out. Not human music. Something else. Something strange and beautiful. The beast's ears moved. It sat down on the sand, just like Daeho. The crowd began to whisper. This was not normal. What is the human doing? Asked a Vorthok in the stands. Is he using some kind of mind control? Said an Exari. But the arena master was getting angry. Fight, he yelled. The human must fight the beast. Daeho looked up at the big Kranthian. I am fighting. You are sitting. Yes, that is how I fight. The Shadow Maw made a sound, not a roar, not a growl. It sounded sad, very sad, like it was crying. Daeho stood up slowly. The crowd held their breath. Now the fighting would start, but Daeho did not take out a weapon. He walked toward the beast, step by step. The Shadow Maw watched him, but did not move. When Daeho was close enough to touch the beast, he stopped. He sat down again, right in front of the most dangerous creature in the galaxy. The Shadow Maw looked into his eyes. Daeho looked back. Neither moved for a long time, then something amazing happened. The beast lay down, put its huge head on the sand next to Daeho's feet. The arena exploded with noise. Aliens were shouting. Some were angry, some were confused. But no one understood what they were seeing. The arena master did not know what to do. In 300 years of trials, nothing like this had ever happened. Human, kill the beast, or you lose. Daeho looked up. The beast does not want to fight me. It is a monster. It kills. Then why am I still alive? The arena master had no answer. After 1 hour, they called the fight off. The Shadow Maw went back to its cage. Deho walked out of the arena. He was still alive. The crowd was still confused. In the waiting area, everyone stared at Deho. The other champions looked scared now. They did not laugh anymore. Sojin ran to him. How did you do that? I listened to it. Listen to what? The beast? It was trying to tell me something. Dr. Moran came over with her papers. That is impossible. These creatures do not talk. They only kill. Everything talks, Deho said. You just have to know how to listen. Captain Taman sat down next to him, like a Kepler station. Deho nodded. Yes, sir. Just like that. Tell us about Kepler station, Sojin said. Ho was quiet for a moment. Then he spoke. Kepler station was under attack. The enemy had us trapped. They were stronger. They had better weapons. Everyone said we would die, but you survived, Taman said. But not by fighting harder. I watched the enemy for 3 days. I learned their patterns. When they ate, they slept when they were scared. Scared? Miran asked. The enemy was scared? Everyone gets scared. Even enemies. Even monsters. Fear makes you do things. If you understand the fear, you understand the enemy. What did you learn? The enemy was not attacking us because they were evil. They were attacking because they thought we would attack. Them first, they were scared of us. Sojin shook her head. That is crazy. But when I stopped trying to kill them and started trying to talk to them, the fighting stopped. We found a way to share the station. No one had to die. The beasts here are different, Miran said. They were made to fight, made to kill. Made by who? Miran looked around. She spoke quietly. The Federation. They take animals from different worlds. They change them. Make them bigger. Make them angry. Make them want to fight. Why? For the games. People like to watch fighting. Deho stood up. Show me the records. Show me everything about these beasts. I cannot. It is secret information. Then, I will find another way. Later that night, Deho met with Yoon Sang-wook. Yoon used to study animals on Earth before he came to space. He was small and quiet, but very smart. I heard what you did today, Yoon said. The whole galaxy's talking about it. What do you think about the beasts? I think they are not beasts at all. Deho looked at him. What do you mean? I've been watching the games for 2 years. I see things others do not see. The creatures fight, yes, but they do not like it. They look sad after they kill. They try to hide in their cages. Real monsters do not act like that. What do real monsters act like? Happy? Proud? They show off their kills? These creatures act like prisoners. Kim Ji-hai, the communications officer, joined them. She had been listening to alien radio signals all day. I heard something strange, she said. The Shadow Maw was making sounds during your fight. I recorded them. She played the recording on her computer. Strange sounds came out. Not roars or growls. Something else. What is it? Deho asked. I think it is language. Very old language. From a planet called Luma. Where is Luma? It does not exist anymore. The Federation destroyed it 50 years ago. The 3 humans looked at each other. You think the Shadow Maw is from Luma? Deho asked. I think the Shadow Maw used to be someone from Luma before they changed him. The next day, Deho had to fight again. This time the beast was called a crystal horn. It looked like a giant rhinoceros made of rock and crystal. Its horn could break through spaceship walls. The crowd expected another strange fight. They were right. Deho walked into the arena with his small bag. The crystal horn charged at him like a living mountain. Its feet shook the ground. But Deho did not run. He took out his device again. This time, he played different sounds. Low sounds. Deep sounds that made the air shake. The crystal horn stopped running. It stood still and listened. Then it made the same sounds back to Deho. They were talking to each other. The beast walked over to Deho. It lay down next to him, just like the Shadow Maw had done. The crowd was not just confused now. They were angry. This was not what they came to see, but in the Federation control room, important aliens were watching. They were not angry. They were afraid. If the human could talk to the beasts, if he could make them remember who they used to be, then the whole system would fall apart. They had to stop him. But first, they had to understand how he was doing it. And they had to make sure no one else learned his secret. The trials would continue. But now, everything was different. Now, it was not about fighting monsters. It was about finding out the truth. News of Deho's fight spread across the galaxy like fire. Every alien race was talking about the human who made monsters sit down. Some thought it was magic. Others thought it was a trick. But everyone wanted to know how he did it. The Vorthok. Champion Grexstar was angry. Very angry. His people were known as the best fighters in the galaxy. How could a weak human do something they could not? "I will copy the human," Grexstar told his trainer. "I will make the beasts sit too," his trainer, an old Vorthok warrior, shook his head. "You do not understand what the human is doing. He plays music and sits down. How hard can that be? There is more to it than that." But Grexstar did not listen. He was too proud. On Earth, an old man named Han Byung-ho watched the fights on his television. He was 95 years old and had fought in many wars. His grandson sat with him. "Grandfather, how is the human winning without fighting?" The old man smiled. "Because he learned something I learned long ago. In the Korean War, I was trapped behind enemy lines for 3 weeks. I had no food, no weapons, no help. How did you survive?" "I watched the enemy soldiers. I learned their habits, where they went, what they did, and I realized something. They were not evil monsters. Were scared young men, far from home, just like me." "What did you do?" "I stopped trying to kill them. I started trying to understand them. One night, I saved an enemy soldier who fell in a river. After that, his unit let me pass through their area safely." The grandson was confused. "But they were the enemy." "Yes, but they were people first. The human in the arena understands this. The beasts are people too. They just forgot who they were." Back on Valdris Prime, Deho was getting ready for his 3rd fight. Dr. Moran came to see him with new information. "I found something," she said quietly, "about the beast you will fight." "Today? What beast?" "The venom spine. It looks like a giant scorpion with poison that can kill in seconds." "Where is it from?" "A planet called Nexera." The people there were artists. They made beautiful light shows in the sky. The Federation took their world 30 years ago. Happened to the people? They said all the people died in the war. But now I think some became the beasts. Kim Ji-hai joined them. She'd been working all night on her computer. "I broke into the Federation files," she said. "The venom spine is not just any creature. It used to be the leader of the Nexera Art Council. Its name was Zilinar. It had a family, children." Deho was quiet for a moment. "How do I talk to it?"
Nexera.
"People used light patterns to speak, like a code. I made a program that can create their language." She showed him a small device with colored lights. "Press this button for hello, this one for friend, this one for peace. What if it does not remember, and you will die?" Miran said sadly. "The poison works in 3 seconds." In another part of the building, Grexstar was getting ready for his fight too. He would face a beast called the Night Stalker. He had a small music player, just like Deho. He thought he was very clever. "Watch and learn," he told the other champions. "I will show you how easy it is." The arena was more crowded than ever. Aliens came from across the galaxy to see the human who talked to monsters. They filled every seat. Some even floated in the air to get a better view. The arena master announced the first fight. Vorthok champion versus the Night Stalker. Grexstar walked out with confidence. The Night Stalker was a creature of pure darkness. It had no solid body. It's just shadow with red eyes and sharp claws that could cut through anything. Grexstar sat down in the sand, just like Deho had done. He turned on his music player. Soft sounds came out. The Night Stalker appeared from the shadows behind him. Grexstar did not turn around. He thought he was being smart. He called to the crowd. "The beast will sit down now." The Night Stalker did not sit down. It was confused by the music, but it was still hungry, still angry. It reached out with one shadow claw and touched Grexstar's shoulder. The Vorthok screamed. The shadow claw was like ice. It burned his skin and froze his blood. He jumped up and tried to fight, but it was too late. The Night Stalker wrapped around him like smoke. In 30 seconds, Grexstar was dead. The crowd was silent, they realized. That what Deho did was not easy to copy. Next was Deho's turn. The venom spine crawled out of its cage. It was bigger than a truck, with 8 legs and a tail full of poison. Its shell was black and shiny like metal. Deho walked to the center of the arena, sat down and took out Kim's light device. He pressed the button for hello. Colored lights flashed in a pattern. Blue, green, yellow, red. The venom spine stopped. Moving its eyes, which were like black diamonds, focused on the lights. Deho pressed more buttons. Friend, peace. Remember, the lights danced in the air. The crowd watched in silence. The venom spine's tail, which had been ready to strike, slowly lowered. It made a soft clicking sound. Then something beautiful happened. Light started coming from the creature's shell. Soft colors that moved like water. The same colors as Deho's device. It was talking back to him. For 10 minutes, they flashed lights at each other. The arena became a light show, just like the ones on Nexara long ago. Finally, the venom spine crawled over to Deho, lay down, and put its huge head next to him. Single tear, glowing with soft light, fell from its eye. The crowd did not cheer. They were too amazed to make noise. After the fight, Lim Sujin, a young communications expert, came to see Deho. She had been studying the sounds the beasts made. I recorded everything the venom spine said to you, she told him. What did it say? It said, I remember my children, remember my home, and thank you for helping me remember. Deho felt sad and happy at the same time. Sad because of what had been done to these creatures. Happy because he could help them remember who they were. But Sojin looked worried. Deho, the Federation officials are asking questions. They want to know what you are doing. They are getting suspicious. Let them ask questions. You do not understand. If they think you are a threat to their system, they will stop you. They might even kill you, and I better work faster. That night, Oh Seung-min came to see Deho. Oh was one of the beast trainers. He was supposed to make the creatures angry before fights. He looked sick and tired. I cannot do this anymore, Oh said. I've been making these creatures angry for 5 years. I never knew they were people. What do you want me to do? Help me free them, all of them. There are hundreds of creatures in the cages below the arena. They're all people who forgot who they were. How many Federation guards? Too many. But I know the security codes. I know where the cages are. If we can get the creatures to remember, they will help us. Deho thought about this. It was dangerous. Very dangerous. But it was also the right thing to do. One more fight first. He said, tomorrow, I face the Ironclad. After that, we make our plan. The Ironclad is different from the others, Oh warned. It is older. It has been a beast for longer. It might not remember anything. We will see. But neither of them knew that Federation spies were listening to everything they said. The officials already knew about Deho's plan, and they were ready to stop him. The final fight would be a trap. The morning of the final fight was different. Federation soldiers were everywhere. They checked every person who entered the arena. They searched bags, watched everything with cold eyes. Deho could feel the danger in the air, but he was not afraid. He had a job to finish. Namgate, a Federation observer, came to the human waiting area. He was tall and thin, with serious eyes. He had been watching all the fights, writing notes on a computer pad. I need to speak with you, he told Deho quietly. Sojin stepped forward. You cannot interview him before the fight. It is against the rules. I am not here for an interview, Gita said. He looked around to make sure no one was listening. Then he whispered, I am here to help you escape. Everyone stared at him. What? Taman asked. My real name is Nam Jita. I work for Earth Intelligence. I have been undercover in the Federation for 3 years. Sojin's mouth fell open. Are a spy? Yes. And I am telling you that today's fight is a trap. They plan to kill you in the arena, Deho. They will say the beast killed you, but Federation soldiers will do the real killing. Because you are making the beasts remember who they are. If that continues, the whole system will break down. Billions of aliens pay to watch these fights. If they learn the truth, there will be revolution. Dr. Moran looked scared. What truth? Git pulled out his computer pad. I copied files from the Federation database. The beasts are not just random creatures, they're the leaders of worlds. The Federation destroyed scientists, artists, teachers, healers. The Federation captured them, erased their memories, and turned them into killers. Why keep the leaders alive? To break the spirit of any survivors. Imagine watching your wise king or gentle queen killing people for sport. It destroys hope. Deho stood up. What beast am I fighting today? The Apex Shadow Maw. Its real name is Veltar? He was the spiritual leader of the Lumani people. They were known across the galaxy for their healing powers and peaceful ways. What happened to his people? The Federation wanted their healing knowledge. When the Lumani refused to share it, the Federation attacked. They killed Veltar's wife and children in front of him. Then they broke his mind and turned him into a monster. The room was silent. Even the tough Captain Taman had tears in his eyes. How long has he been like this? Deho asked. 15 years. He has killed more champions than any other beast. 53 warriors have died fighting him. Can I save him? I do not know. Oh, Sungmin thinks maybe. He has been studying Veltar for 2 years. He says sometimes, late at night, the beast cries. Real tears, like he remembers something. Oh, Sungmin met them in a secret room under the arena. His hands were shaking as he showed them old pictures on his tablet. This is Veltar before, he said. The picture showed a gentle-looking alien with silver skin and kind eyes. He was holding 2 small children. His wife stood next to him, smiling. He looked so peaceful, Miran whispered. He was the Lumani never hurt anyone. They spent their lives healing others. Veltar could cure diseases that killed other species. He saved thousands of lives. Oh, showed them another picture. This one was terrible. It showed Veltar after the Federation changed him. He was huge, covered in black scales, with claws and teeth-like weapons. His eyes were red with madness. What did they do to him? Gene therapy? Mind-breaking? Torture? They made him forget everything good about himself. They filled his head with anger and pain. They made him into the perfect killer. But you think he can remember? Sometimes he hums, Oh said quietly. Late at night in his cage, it is a Lumani healing song. He does not know he is doing it, but part of him remembers. Eerie, a computer expert, joined them. I have been working on the arena's broadcast system. When the fight starts, I can send the truth to every planet in the galaxy. Pictures, files, proof of what the Federation has done. They will try to stop you, Jita warned. Let them try. Galaxy needs to know. The arena was packed. More aliens than ever before had come to watch. They wanted to see if the human could survive the most dangerous beast in the galaxy. In the VIP section, Federation leaders sat in their special chairs. They looked confident. They thought their plan would work. The arena master, the huge Kronthian, announced the fight. The final trial. Human champion versus the Apex Shadow Maw. The crowd cheered, but it sounded different today. Excited, but also nervous. Deho walked into the arena. This time, he carried a different bag. Inside was not just his light device, who had given him something special, something from Veltar's old home. In the middle of the arena, Deho sat down and waited. Metal door at the far end opened. Darkness poured out like black water. The temperature in the arena dropped. Some aliens in the crowd shivered. Then Veltar stepped into the light. He was massive, 12 feet tall with muscles like steel cables. His claws were longer than swords. His teeth could bite through spaceship armor. Black scales covered his body like armor, but his eyes were what made everyone afraid. They were red with madness and pain. They were the eyes of something that had been broken and twisted into a weapon. The crowd was silent. Even the brave aliens were scared. Veltar looked at Deho and roared. The sound was so loud that dust fell from the arena ceiling. It was the roar of 15 years of pain and anger. But Deho did not move. He sat very still and looked into those red eyes. Then he opened his bag and took out what O had given him. It was a small crystal that glowed with soft blue light. A Lumani healing crystal, When Veltar saw the crystal, he stopped roaring. His head tilted to the side, like he was trying to remember something. Deho held up the crystal and began to... It was the healing song that O had heard Veltar humming in his cage. The effect was immediate. Veltar's red eyes flickered. For just a moment, they turned silver, like they had been before. The crowd gasped. Something was happening, something they had never seen before. Deho kept humming, stood up slowly and walked toward the monster. That had killed 53 champions. Veltar could have killed him with one swipe of his claws, but he did not move. He was listening to the song, remembering when Deho was close enough to touch him. Something amazing happened. Veltar's eyes turned completely silver. The red madness was gone. He looked at Deho and spoke in a voice that was broken but gentle. Hey, I remember. My name is ... Veltar. I had a family. I was ... I was a healer. Tears fell from his silver eyes. Real tears. What have they made me do? He whispered. How many have I killed? The arena was dead silent. 50,000 aliens watched a monster remember that he was a person in the Federation. Control room. Alarms were going off. Officials were shouting orders, but it was too late. Shinari had started her broadcast. The truth was spreading across the galaxy at the speed of light, and in the arena, the revolution had begun. Veltar looked at his claws. They were covered in the blood of many champions. His face showed terrible pain. How many did I kill? He asked again. 53, Deho said gently. But that was not you. That was what they made you become. Can remember their faces. All of them. They were afraid. They fought bravely. But I was too strong. You can honor them now, by helping me stop this. Veltar nodded. What do you need me to do? Before Deho could answer, Federation soldiers ran into the arena. They had energy weapons and riot armor. Their leader, a mean-looking Kranthian officer, shouted orders. Kill the human! Kill the beast! Do it now! The soldiers raised their weapons. But Veltar moved faster than lightning. He jumped between Deho and the soldiers. His huge body blocked their shots. I will not let you hurt him, Veltar roared. But this roar was different. It was not mad or angry. It was protective. The crowd was in chaos. Some aliens were running away. Others were shouting. But many were watching Shin Air's broadcast on their personal devices. They were learning the truth. Look, someone in the crowd yelled. The broadcast shows everything. The Federation lied to us. On screens throughout the arena, images were appearing. Pictures of peaceful planets before the Federation destroyed them. Videos of families being torn apart. Documents showing how the beasts were really made. A Vorthok in the crowd stood up. My brother died fighting the Crystal Horn. You told us it was just a monster. It was the Queen of Nexus 7, another alien shouted. I met her once. She was kind and wise. More. Aliens were standing up. They were angry. Very angry in the Federation control room. Officials were panicking. B. Kinho, who had been pretending to be a Federation worker, was destroying their computers from the inside. The broadcast is spreading too fast. One official screamed. Cannot stop it? Send all soldiers to the arena, ordered the Federation commander. Kill everyone who knows the truth. But it was too late. The truth was already on 1 million planets. Billions of aliens were learning what the Federation had really done. Back in the arena, more Federation soldiers appeared, but something unexpected happened. The crowd began fighting back. A group of Nexari jumped over the rails and attacked the soldiers. Free the beasts, they shouted. Vorthok warriors joined them. Even some peaceful species picked up weapons from fallen guards. In the middle of the chaos, Deho turned to Veltar. Can you call the other beasts? Can you help them remember? Can try? But they are deep underground, in cages designed to block their minds. Oh, Sung-min knows the way. He has the security codes. Oh appeared next to them, breathing hard from running. Follow me. But we must hurry. They are sending the kill squad. They ran through tunnels under the arena. The sounds of fighting echoed from above. Veltar had to crawl because the tunnels were too small for his huge body. They reached a massive underground chamber. Hundreds of cages filled the space. In each cage was a combat beast. But now, Deho could see the truth. These were not monsters. These were people who had been broken and changed. How do we wake them up? Deho asked. Each species is different, O said, but they all respond to something from their past. Something the Federation could not destroy. Veltar walked to the first cage. Inside was the shadow maw that Deho had faced days ago. He looked up at Veltar with confused eyes. Veltar began to sing. It was the Lumani healing song, but deeper and stronger. His voice filled the chamber with beautiful sound. One by one, the beasts began to stir. Their eyes changed from red to their natural colors. They started to remember. The crystal horn raised its head and spoke in a voice like wind through trees. I am Queen Zara of Nexus 7. I ruled with wisdom and peace. The venom spine's lights began to glow. I am Zillanor of Nexara. I painted the sky with colors. More voices joined in, hundreds of them. Kings and queens, teachers and healers, artists and scientists. All remembering who they really were. We need to get them out, O said. Started. Opening cages with his security codes, but then Federation kill squads arrived. These soldiers were different. Bigger, meaner, with heavy weapons designed to kill large creatures. Stop right there, their captain shouted. Step away from the cages. Veltar stepped forward. No, we will not stop. We will not go back to being your monsters. Then you will die. The soldiers opened fire. Their weapons shot beams of pure energy. That could melt steel. But the beams hit empty air. Veltar and the others moved too fast. They were not slow-caged animals anymore. They were people fighting for their freedom. The battle was fierce but short. The Federation soldiers were strong, but they were fighting hundreds of beings who had nothing left to lose. Above ground, the revolution was spreading. Alien species that had been enemies for centuries were working together. It all lost people to the Federation's games. Kim Ji-hai's voice came over the arena speakers. People of the galaxy, the beasts you watched die for your entertainment were your neighbors, your friends, your leaders. Captain Taman was leading human soldiers who had arrived from Earth. Secure the area, protect the civilians. Sojin was coordinating with alien ambassadors. We need ships, medical supplies, and safe places for the freed beings. As the fighting ended, Deho found himself back in the arena. But it looked different. Now, the sand was torn up. Broken weapons lay everywhere. And in the center stood Veltar, surrounded by hundreds of freed beings. They were all looking at Deho. What do we do now? Asked Queen Zara, the former Crystal Horn. Gao. Now you go home, Deho said. To what is left of your worlds, you rebuild. You heal. Some of our worlds are gone, said Zelanar. Our people are scattered. Then you build new homes. Together, you help each other heal from what was done to you. Veltar placed a gentle claw on Deho's shoulder. And what about you, friend? What will you do? Deho looked around at all the faces. Beings from 100 different worlds, all free because someone had bothered to listen to them. I will help, he said simply. Wherever you need me. 6 months later, Deho stood on a green hillside on New Luma. It was a planet the freed beings had built together. Veltar was there, teaching young aliens how to heal with their minds. Queen Zara was helping to grow new crystal gardens. Zelanar was painting light shows in the evening sky, so Dash Jin found him watching the sunset. Any regrets? She asked. About what? About destroying the Federation games, about changing everything. Deho smiled. I went to that arena to fight monsters. I found out there were no monsters. It's just people who had forgotten who they were. And now they remember. Now they are free. Now they can be themselves again. In the distance, Veltar was singing the healing song to a group of children from different species. They were all learning to live together in peace. The galaxy is different now, Sojin said. Yes, it is better. As the sun set on New Luma, hundreds of different voices joined Veltar's song. Former enemies singing together, former monsters showing their true, gentle nature. And Daeho knew that sometimes the greatest victory was not defeating your enemy, but helping them remember who they really were. The arena was empty now. The games were over, but the healing had just begun.